Hey, hey, hey. Happy, beautiful Wednesday. I am coming to you guys live straight from the gym. So bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me, guys. Hey guys, so as promised, I promised to come live today. I almost never do lives ever, right? But this is a part of me jumping head first, getting out of my comfort zone, releasing and freeing myself from some of the things that I have been struggling with, right? So today, as you can see, the pinned comment is titled Mommying with Autism. Today, this live is going to be a very transparent live. I'm going to get really in depth. I'm going to ask that you guys, share your perspective, your insights, even if you don't get to catch it live or after you watch it. If you have any, information, suggestion, or questions, please feel free to DM me or comment. Each and every Wednesday I'll be doing these lives because after today, once I get in depth and share, this journey with you guys, I'm also going to take you guys along the journey, right? Full disclaimer, I do not claim to be any professional about autism or anything like that. I'm just taking you guys on a journey with my experience. I hope that everyone's day has already been off to a phenomenal start. Let me just say that. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings to all. Today I want to talk about being a mom with a child with autism. Of course, when you think about having kids, right, there are a lot of different obstacles that you can be faced with in that experience. It's a very unpredictable journey, right? But there are some things that you just don't plan for. You're not looking forward to having to experience, right? And so for me and my husband, that was our journey. We did not plan for that, right? We did not expect it. It was completely unexpected. And I think for the first part, because she was just diagnosed last year in October of 2021, right? And the first time it was suggested, she was like 3. She was like 3.5 when it was, suggested that maybe she may have autism based on just little things that she wasn't doing. Like she wasn't talking, she would say words, but she wasn't having conversations, right? And at first they were like, little gestures like pointing and things like that she wasn't doing. So naturally, of course, being a first-time mother, my response was defensive because being uneducated about autism, it put me in a position to just be defensive instead of being open and understanding what it really was. So I was very closed off to it. I was like, my approach was like, no, she's too young. You guys need to stop labeling children so early. That doesn't make sense, right? But even though a lot of the things that she wasn't doing after they said it, there were times as time went on, she started doing them. So I was like, okay, see, I was right. But in life, we have to be realistic with ourselves, no matter how difficult the circumstances or the situation is being presented towards you. And for me, it was extremely hard. I don't want to speak for my husband, but I know we shared the same emotions as well. So fast forward, we continued. I enrolled her with different therapists, coming to her daycares and stuff, seeing her. And because of COVID, the actual evaluation test was delayed for like a year and a half, right? So once she finally did the exam and they, gave the official diagnosis, I think that's when it got like really, really real for me. And in my video 2 weeks ago, I shared that, I've been absent. I haven't been as active. I haven't been as present or vocal on my platform because I was, going through 2 different seasons of transitions, right? In the video I shared that one was based on, my faith, and, this is the second challenge that I was dealing with at the same time, right? And alhamdulillah, it was during the pandemic that, not the pandemic, I'm sorry, it was during Ramadan that I had a breakthrough, because I realized that for months I have been holding myself back because I have been, not in denial anymore, because it was confirmed that she was in fact autism on the spectrum. But I felt like I needed to shelter the information. I felt like I needed to hide this. I felt like it needed to just be between me and my husband and nobody else. I needed to protect my baby. Full on, protection mode was where I was, right? There were moments of feeling like, why? Why did I have to experience this? Why are we going through this? And it's a natural response for anyone, but after a while, you have to come to a place where you understand that everything, every single thing has a purpose. Everything has a reason. And no matter how bad you may feel like it is in that moment, it could always be worse, right? So although she was diagnosed with autism on the spectrum, she's at a level 2, which means that with the proper help and, us doing our best to assist her and guide her and getting her therapists and stuff like that, she will be fine, God's will, inshallah, right? But for a few months, I wasn't allowing myself to accept the reality of what it was, right? So I was blocking my own creativity. I was blocking my own ability to do and be my best as far as creating things. I had so many ideas and plans for my brand, and I couldn't connect. I couldn't put myself to take action, right? And I'm a firm believer in, how you show up in one area of your life is how you show up in all areas of your life. And I definitely could tell there was a very big imbalance, because I was good fitness wise, I was good in everything else and showing up, but when it came to expressing and going into motherhood or faith wise, I sheltered myself, because these two things were so precious and dear to me. And based on, different responses and things that I experienced, I just wasn't ready. But alhamdulillah, Allah is the greatest planners of all planning, and the time has come, and I'm fully ready. I'm fully able to embrace this journey. And so I want to take you guys on the journey with me as, we go through different steps, different techniques, different routines and stuff, just to, help her get to where she needs to be, right? So the reason why I want to talk about this is because I'm sure there are plenty other moms or parents out there that are experiencing having children with autism. And like I said, this is why you always have to find gratitude in everything, because although yes, she's diagnosed, she doesn't need medication, she doesn't have behavioral issues, she's not like, a high functioning, well, she is high function, she's very active, but it's not that bad, right? And not to say that any case of any other children is bad, but it could be more challenging. So I do believe that, sometimes our emotions can overlook the situation and put us in a position to forget to see how good we still do have it, right? So my daughter, she has all her words, she can speak, her issue is communication. She struggles with communicating her needs and wants, which has made it very difficult for her to be potty trained, right? So she just turned 5, so she has made progress, a lot of progress, but she will be going to kindergarten in September. So definitely, which is very scary, because thankfully, alhamdulillah, the daycare that she attends right now, they are like so good with her, so it made me feel so comfortable, and not worrying about how she would be treated or how she would fit in. They have done an amazing job with her. So now her moving on to the next step, it puts me in another position of feeling like scared, protective mode. But I'm working through that. I'm working through those emotions. And the one thing I had to remind myself yesterday is that every traumatic or challenge that comes into our lives is not only for us to experience them, but it's for us to learn from them, and it is for us to not suffer in silence and be open with them so that we can help someone else, or so that we can allow other people to know that they are not alone, and to be, a voice or a comforter to people that may not have the right support. And so when I first, the reason why for a while I didn't want to talk about this, I didn't want to share it, because, when I first did open up intimately to a person that I considered a friend at the time, there became a situation where they felt a way about something that I was suggesting to them, and they, the statement that they made pretty much was like an attack, like, well, if maybe you did this and that, maybe that wouldn't be your situation, right? So we live in a world where everybody's not always genuine, everybody's not always really there for you, right? So sometimes when you have very personal struggles, or struggles that are really dear to you, it becomes hard to really want to share that, because you're not ready for how people are going to treat you, how people are going to respond to you, or what's going to come behind all of that, right? So that's pretty much what these lives will be talking about. But today I just wanted to take you guys on a introductory journey of how I've been feeling, where I've been, and how this has, impacted me on a different level. And I've decided to free myself. It's not my secret. It's her journey, but it's also our experience to be there and to help her, and to not be afraid, and to be unapologetic in the experience that we're gifted with, right? And so I don't know anyone personally, except one personally, that, this is, you have to understand, this was not anything that was familiar to me or my husband. I don't have any family members or siblings that were diagnosed with autism before, and so it was very new. You raise the questions of, how is this possible? How does these things happen? Why? And is it preventable? Unfortunately, there are a lot of things that you won't get clear answers to. So you have to just take things into your own hands, do your own research and things like that. So one of the things that me and my husband has decided to do is to get proactive with her diet, based on research and listening to different audios and insights about autism and how the brain works and things like that. So we're willing to take different steps and different approach. I'm not advising anybody to do anything I do. I will just be sharing. If you find the information useful, feel free to do so. You can share with me and let me know how it's working for you. And maybe on the upcoming weeks, I will have other moms or parents that are momming or parenting children with autism, so that we can open up the forum to really support each other on our journey with our children. Because in spite of all of it, my daughter is like, she's so smart. She has her own striking personality, and then at the same time she's so loving, and then she can be so she's hilarious, right? So I'm smiling because I can't even express how hard the thought of doing this has been for like the last few months. And this is why I say sometimes we have to honor our feelings. Sometimes we have to allow ourselves to go through those periods that we're going through, so we can get it all out. And I am happy that I waited. I am happy that I allowed myself to go through the phases and the emotions, and then to talk about it when I was ready. And alhamdulillah, I made so many du'as during Ramadan to, for Allah to free me from this, because I needed to get back to business. I needed to get back to me. I needed to be authentic in every area of my life that I share with unapologetic happiness. And I can't choose to have it all and show what's possible if I am willing to hide bits and pieces of my life and where I am. When I say hide, meaning I'm not going to, of course, you guys won't get every detail of my life ever, But the things that I feel are shareable, I will be sharing. That's not a word. Shareable is not a word. That I would like to share, I'm going to share. And I don't expect everybody to agree. I don't expect everybody to have the same sentiments or whatever. But I am welcoming all conversation regarding these things. If anyone has any information or advice, feel free. You guys will be more than welcome to join the lives with me, chat with me. Yeah, but it's definitely an open forum, and I am enrolling you guys in my journey and my possibility of healing and breakthrough in this area of my life, right? Because you have to be whole in every area of your life to successfully thrive in life. You cannot neglect any part of your life. You cannot, not put in the work. And so I'm putting in the work. And last night I discovered about myself what I was doing was that I remember because when I was younger, I experienced, sexual abuse. I don't want to say abuse, but molestation. I experienced that. And for years growing up, I had a issue with people with men that reminded me of the individual based on their appearance, if they had certain features and things like that. And when I finally freed myself and talked about this openly, I was no longer afraid or carrying it like it was my secret. I was free. And I realized with my daughter being diagnosed with autism, not that it's the same things, but I was holding it so dear to my heart, it almost like a secret. I didn't even want to hear the word autism, right? That's how much it affected me to even hear the word. And as I was talking about it last night to my husband, I said, it's time. Like, the only way to free myself is to really let go, is to really not be afraid to say it, is to not be afraid to share it. Because, like I said a few minutes earlier, I believe that we are all here for each other. We all go through different experiences at different times, but we are able to help each other in some way, shape, or form as we go through life. And so I don't want to be selfish and hold on to something that maybe Allah has given me this experience and this challenge and this task because, one, He knows that I can handle this, and two, there is a reason and a purpose behind it, and it is not my job to not fulfill that mission or that purpose, right? So I want to thank you guys for advance, for those that will probably see this after. You guys can share, like, comment, and I also want to encourage and invite you guys to join me every Wednesday at 2 p.m. as I'll be sharing different details, different information, progress, and also probably having people join me on the live to talk about their experiences and how it's been for them. So I hope that you guys continue to have an amazing Wednesday on purpose, with purpose. I love you guys. Assalamu alaikum.